Okay, here we are. Move this back a little bit, just so. Hmm. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good midday, pleasant dreams. I'm Shirley Osborne, and we are on day number 6 of Elevation 2023. 28 days live, the entire February, the entire month of February. We are live because my philosophy is that when you start strong, especially when you have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. We have the whole year, but we have the whole year because there's so much work to do. So thank you for joining me. Those of you who are on, those of you who are watching this, whether you on live, whether you catch the live, or you find it later on. Thank you for this. Before we go any further, my request is that you click like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever the little button says down there, do that to help us reach more people. Because you know what? In things like this, it really is the more the merrier. The more people participating, the more fun it will be, the more work we can get done. And what's the work? The work we are doing this year is twofold. We are doing all the work we possibly can to elevate ourselves. That's why it's called Elevation 2023. It's about just really stepping out. Given the last 3 years, how difficult it's been for the last 3 years, and just wanting to make a clean break and step out into our power, into the highest part of us, the highest self, one, and contributing to somebody else's elevation. There always has to be that. There always has to be the contribution element. My work has always been, continues to be about these two things: my advancement, my success, my growth, my development, and that of other people. And I do this for work and for vocation. It's what I do. So in my personal life, I do it. In my professional life, I do it. And so clearly, I mean, it follows that I ask the people in my life also to do it. So when you join me, know that the goal is twofold: your advancement, your elevation, your progress, and that of somebody else, that of other people. And how you do this, sometimes literally just being in the space makes a difference. You don't have to give money. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. Just be present. Just be present, and that makes a world of difference. Some years ago, well, not some years ago, some time ago, a little while ago, you know what COVID did? These 3 years of COVID, it has just distorted time so much for me. 4 years ago seems like forever ago. These 3 years just kind of, it's as if something ended and you went to sleep. There's a gap. I don't know, that might be how it feels if you sort of lose your memory or something. You lose the memory of a specific incident. So you can remember just after and just before the incident itself. That's kind of how COVID feels to me. These 3 years that just kind of up in the air somewhere, incomprehensible. Yeah. And so now that we think we're out of it and we can get back to working on ourselves and focusing on ourselves and focusing on all the positives and powerful, all the positives and the good things, and not having to be so concerned, so afraid, even so worried, so uncertain. COVID was a very uncertain time. Didn't know what's going to happen the next day, or who you were not going to see anymore, or whether you're going to get shut down or allowed to roam the streets. And so with Elevation 2023, what I've been doing for myself has been to literally just step out, step into all of me, remember all of me, remember the parts that I didn't get to use during COVID, the parts I couldn't use because I couldn't see my family, couldn't see my loved ones, couldn't do so many of the things I was used to do and things I love to do. And so now I'm doing that. And I thought, what better way to do that than do it with people, do it with a group of women who are all sort of committed to the same thing, our own advancement and elevation, and supporting other people, particularly other women. Right now, I'm thinking of women in Turkey and Syria. This earthquake has just, I mean, when these things happen, you know, um, they give you pause. They must, they have to. Because even if you don't know anyone, even if it's not anywhere near you, there's something in your history, in your life, that's similar, that's connected. And for me, it's particularly potent. It's really, really, really strong because my little island Montserrat that you hear me talk about so much, that I love so much, that is the other work that I do. I do two work with women and with Montserrat. We've had our fair share, and this last one is, I mean, we've had our fair share and more. So since 1995, my little island has been struggling with not the volcanic eruptions anymore, but the after effects. Hey there. Thank you. Welcome. The after effects. So we had the volcano started to erupt. It is first eruptions in 1995, and steadily for probably about 15 years after that. The last significant eruption was 2009, 2010. So for about 15 years, this little island was devastated. We lost people. People lost their lives. People lost their livelihoods, their homes, their land. We lost our way of life almost entirely. We lost so many people. We lost connections. When you look at Montserrat now, the end result is almost the same. You hear of these things happening in places, and you read about wars and natural disasters and so on, and you hear about whole families getting wiped out. And at least I imagine, I feel, I see this space. And Montserrat is kind of sort of like that. Whole families have moved away, have left the island. Hey there. Whole families have left. And there's no member of the family still living on Montserrat. So Montserrat is, so when I hear about things like what's going on in Turkey at the moment, my heart goes out to the people in Turkey, men, women, and children, and especially the women, because one of the things that happens when these things occur is that women suffer most. Women suffer the most. And women suffer the most because of our particular responsibilities in our communities. Women are the ones who take care of people, yes? Women are the ones who ensure that everybody's okay, that people are recovering, that people have food to eat and a place to sleep, that the family is doing okay. Women are the ones who, I mean, men also, but it's a very different thing, and I want to be clear about that. Of course, when these things happen, everybody chips in, but it affects women in different ways because of how we've been socialized, because of responsibilities that have been handed on to us, and because in circumstances like these, when human beings are under stress, we behave in ways that are individually uncharacteristic, so that people who are really, really nice and easygoing and calm might not necessarily be nice and easygoing and calm in the meantime. I'm not quite sure why. It should just be, it keeps freezing. Everything here is working fine. I'm not quite sure why that's going on. You could log in again or something. Yeah. Yeah, disasters, stress affects people and makes people act in uncharacteristic ways. And if you think about it on a normal everyday basis, and then when you're stressed, you snap at people. You wouldn't normally. We've seen other people do it. We do it sometimes ourselves. So imagine being under that kind of stress, a horrible, horrible earthquake that's devastated your home. You've lost people you love, members of your family, even you are at risk. You no longer have a house, you no longer have a place to be, you're injured. And so that resonates for me because Montserrat had some of that. But even if we didn't, just the thought of other human beings experiencing this. And because I'm a woman, I see it in a particular way, which adds to that. So I was talking today with a couple of women about this, and we all agreed on that. This is it's a very special way, a very particular way that these things affect women. Hey there. And so, yeah, my heart goes out to the people in Turkey and Syria, and Syria as if it wasn't bad enough. And that, however, is one of the reasons why it is so important that all of us think about all of us. Hey there. You good? All of us think about all of us. That as we go about our daily lives, as we go about our own life, we think about how things affect us, how things affect other people, but how other people are doing. And it's not necessarily being responsible, it's just being empathetic, because energy works that way. When you send out love, love radiates, it grows. And when you love yourself, it shows. It influences other people. It influences how you behave, how other people feel around you, how you treat other people. So, but today that was a bit of an aside. Today we're talking about health. And how you look after your body has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself. How you look after yourself has a lot to do with how you feel about how much you love yourself. We talked last week about food, eating well, eating for pleasure as well as for health. And today I want to, the aspect of health I want to talk about is sleep. Yeah, not talking about fitness here, talking about sleep. How important it is to get adequate sleep. I remember years ago, I was in school in England, and we'd been out partying some night or other. It was a Saturday night, and went home in the morning, whatever time in the morning it was, slept all day. Only stayed in bed. I think I probably did sleep all day. And a friend of mine called me in the afternoon sometime. I was still in bed, and she said, "Good Lord, you're sleeping away half your life." And it's interesting how up to this day, I keep remembering it. It still influences and affects me. I don't want to sleep away half my life. I want to sleep. I want to sleep enough so my body continues to work well. But I don't want to sleep away half my life. That would be unhealthy too. But the thing about sleep is that sleep is important for our thoughts to organize themselves, for our brain to do a certain kind of work. And I'm not going to go into details because I don't know the details. I mean, I read about this stuff and I apply it to my life, and I'm encouraging you to apply it to your life also. And when we do the actual seminar on health, we'll go into detail about that. What I want to do today is just encourage you to get enough sleep. Not more, not less, not just enough that works for you. For me, 5 hours is a good number. I sleep for 5 hours, I'm wide awake, and I'm ready to go. If I'm really, really, really busy during the day and I got stuff going on, or if I'm stressed, if I'm worried about something, or if I haven't been taking care of my body in other ways, if I haven't been eating properly or haven't been getting enough exercise, I sleep more. And then it's not really good sleep. I just want to lie down and veg, which is not really sleep. I like to go to bed, fall asleep, wake up, get up. And I'm an early riser, so I like to wake up early in the morning. In order to be able to do that, I have to be taking care of the other parts of my life. Oh, let me just do something here. I forgot to address something here. No wonder that's like that. All right. I have to be getting enough sleep, but not too much. So 5 hours is about what works for me. I know people who need 8, really need a solid 8, sometimes 9 hours. I am glad that I don't, but I also make a point of getting more sleep from time, or at least staying in bed and resting, because sleep is about resting. It's about resting your body and resting your brain. Your body, you can rest in all kinds of ways. Just relax, lie down, look at the sky. You don't have to fall asleep to rest your body, but you actually have to sleep to rest your brain. And when I say rest, it's conditional, because when your brain is actually working while you're asleep, it doesn't fall asleep. It does other things. We have brain waves. You have beta waves, alpha waves, delta waves, even theta brain waves. That the brain goes into different states, whether you're asleep or awake, what phase of sleep you're in, and so on. And if you want to find out more about this, there's a man, I've spoken about him before, Dr. Andrew Huberman. He does a lot of work on sleep and what sleep does to the brain and to our metabolism and our ability to function during the day and so on. Go check him out. Andrew Huberman Labs. He's on Instagram, he's on YouTube, he's on Facebook, he's everywhere, the usual places. So go check him out and see what he says about sleep and how important it is to get enough sleep and the right kind of sleep. And the right kind of sleep is really, really necessary for your health. Your brain reorganizes itself, your thoughts reorganize themselves, your muscles get to rest, your stomach gets to rest, your everything gets to rest when you sleep. And your body needs rest. We don't need to get too scientific about this necessarily. You know how you feel when you haven't had enough sleep. And when I talk about using sleep to stay healthy, I mean it not just in terms of how your body feels and how you think your body operates. But when people don't get enough sleep, your reflexes slow down. And I think that's the point I really, really want to make in this particular live. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain functions differently, and your reflexes slow down, your thoughts slow down. You're not as sharp as you would be if you've had enough sleep. You know that. Anybody who knows anything about truckers will tell you that a large part of the accidents, I can't remember what not percentage, I've seen different figures, but a large percentage of the accidents, driving accidents, happen with people falling asleep. I remember once when I was in college in Boston, I'd gone to New York, driven to New York for the weekend. When you drive the way I drive, it takes 3 hours. Yeah, 4 hours if I'm taking my time. But I went to New York for the weekend, was driving back to Boston. I should have gone back on Sunday, had a class at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. I should have gone back to Boston on Sunday night. I didn't. I left New York Monday morning. And of course, I didn't leave at 2 o'clock in the morning because I don't remember what time I left. One of the reasons I didn't leave was because we were partying all weekend. I did not get enough sleep. And I'm driving along. I come to Rhode Island, and Rhode Island, the speed limit then was like 55 miles an hour, I got through there, and I got on the Mass Pike. I'm flying on the Mass Pike. And I see in front of me an 18-wheeler on the right, and I can see it now. I see it on the right. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's there, and I should move over. And I didn't until the last minute. I realized, what the hell? I saw the corner of the thing coming straight into my brain. And somehow at the very last moment, I managed to swerve and avoid it. What I did afterwards, I pulled over on the Mass Pike, closed my windows, locked them, and slept. Class be damned. Because what had happened is I was falling asleep. I was tired, sleep deprived, and just could not think fast enough, move fast enough. So fortunately, literally at the very last moment, by then I had enough time to, and I avoided it. I will not be here speaking to you today. Sleep is important. Sleep helps us avoid injury. Sleep helps us avoid injury. Injuries are a health hazard. Injuries are a health hazard. You want to stay healthy, you avoid injury. Lots and lots of people don't have a chronic illness. They have an injury that debilitates them, that damages, destroys their ability to stay physically fit and healthy. When you sleep, you reduce the chances of having those illnesses. Men talk about a lot about edge tools. I have brothers and friends who, make, they see me with something and they make fun about whether I can manage edge tools. I've also spoken with them and heard them talk about how they get injured. Often when it's because they're tired, they're sleep deprived, and they're still working. And they're not managing these things properly. You know this. So my health tip for you today is get enough sleep. I have one health tip for you today. Get enough sleep. Avoid injury by getting enough sleep. Avoid accidents by getting enough sleep. Illnesses are not the only things that are detrimental to our health. Sleep deprivation is one. It's a big, big, big one too. I don't think I need to say anything more. Ask anybody. Think about what you did last Saturday night. Did you get enough sleep? And how was Sunday for you? How was Monday morning for you if you didn't get enough sleep on Sunday night? Think about that. And get enough sleep. Remember that at the Women's Leadership Circle, our whole goal is to support people, women, in getting the most out of life, in being able to do, be, and have the most, the best, the highest quality of life. Be able to explore and express the highest parts of themselves and make their highest contribution to the world. That's it. We want to be able to make our highest contribution to the world. In order to do that, we're required to find and develop ourselves to our highest. And that requires taking care of our health first and foremost. So you're going to be hearing a lot about health throughout this year, especially in light of the last 3 years. There were 3 very unhealthy years for many people, for everybody pretty much. And many, many people are still suffering the effects. Many people are still suffering the effects. So health is something we need to pay real serious attention to. If COVID taught us nothing else, it is the importance of managing our movement, our space, our interactions, so that we stay healthy. Put on your mask. Don't touch your face. Don't stick your fingers in your eyes. All that kind of stuff. Wash your hands. Those were all things that we knew we should be doing. We had to be reminded. So let's stay reminded to be intentional. Be intentional about taking care of our health. Be intentional about taking care, protecting our health, improving our health, maintaining our health. That is step 1 in our being able to make our highest contribution to the world. We will not all always be at the peak of health, but the process of taking care of ourselves, even with chronic illness, even after an injury, a debilitating injury, the commitment to look after ourselves, take care of ourselves, does something to us that actually helps us heal and helps us stay healthy, irrespective of what medications and things we take. Check that out. Ask your doctor about that. The ritual, the approach, just the thought of being healthy, the commitment to being healthy helps you stay healthy. The brain is an amazing thing. It's a fascinating thing. Our brain does all of those things, and our brains need sleep. Our lives need sleep. Our elevation requires sleep. Now just fit right there. Our elevation requires sleep. So if it's nighttime where you are, go to sleep. Get some sleep. Get enough sleep. Organize your life so that you get enough sleep. One of my sisters actually sets as an alarm that reminds her to go to sleep. Reminds her it's time now. Go to bed. I'm not sure we have to do that, but if you do, then do that, whatever it takes. Okay? Thank you for hanging out with me this evening. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is day number 7. Tomorrow is February 7th, and that's 1 week gone. In the meantime, go check out the website, shirleyosborne.com. See everything else that there is about Elevation 2023, all the things we're going to be doing. We'll have these lives where we just chat about stuff. And then we'll have the quote unquote more serious, more involved, where we go deeper into the things we're talking about. Remember that we're working on health, style, wealth, personal power, and relationships. Health, style, wealth, personal power, and relationships in that order. And when you're a member of the Women's Leadership Circle, you get to participate in the seminars, the monthly circle, the trainings, the different programs that we have that we're working on this year. We have Feminine Alchemy, we have the Pyramid of Power, we have the Self-Leadership Plan of Action. All of those things you get to work on, you get to use to work on yourself when you become a member. If you're not a member, you get these, the lives, and the elevator, which is our weekly newsletter. It goes out every Wednesday night, Thursday morning. If you want to be on the list for that, go to shirleyosborne.com, pop your email into the pop-up box that comes up, and I'll put you on the list. You'll get it. There's no cost for it. The membership in the Women's Leadership Circle costs $30 a year. $30 for 12 months, which is what? $2.50 a month. You want to elevate, you want to commit to finding, exploring, enjoying, and expressing your highest self this year, come join us. Come join us. Because remember also that on December 31st, we have this party. You can't come to the party unless you're a member. You can't come to the party unless you've done the work. Okay? You can't be in the party. So come join us. We'll talk some more about it as we go along. Tomorrow, I'll talk some more about that too. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about style. And we're going to talk about dressing style tomorrow, actually. The style that we'll be talking about throughout the year, we're learning about and exploring, will be dress style, your personal way of being, your style, not your dress, just your way of being in the world. We're going to talk about lifestyle. We talk about how you sort out how you style your environment, your bedroom, your living room, your home, your car even. It's going to be fun. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a lovely night, lovely day, pleasant morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. See you tomorrow. Until tomorrow, take good care.